I'm going to call the meeting at 4:31. Roll call. Sabrina is here. Sharon Samantha.
I'm here.
Great. Judy Ying.
Here.
Thank you. And Joan is here. Jessica is here. And Andrea is absent. All right. Pledge allegiance to the flag, please. Yep.
Please place your right hand over your heart. Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
3.2, approve the agenda as submitted.
Motion?
Second. Motion by Sharon, second by Judy. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Oh, are we going to have a closed session today, or otherwise we have to
I
modify?
don't see anything.
So no.
Okay, so you need to
We need to amend the agenda by removing number item 9, closed section. Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
3.3, introduction of guests. We have lots of guests today.
Sapir Hakopian, she's the director of HR,
Right.
and
Director of HR.
and
Okay,
Mr.
now we
Humphreys.
got you. We know who you are. Oh,
3.4, questions from the floor, not on the agenda. That's not. 3.5, questions from the floor on items that are on the agenda will be entertained at the time the item is under consideration. 3.6, questions or input from district employees. That's not. 3.7, questions or input from district management. Okay, thank you. Nothing. 3.8, questions or input from CSEA. I don't know what CSEA is. Nothing. Okay, number 4, report from the personnel director. Joan, please.
All right, so the recruitments that we opened since the last commission meeting include the following classifications: bus driver instructor, director of physical services, executive secretary, instructional assistant 1, library assistant bilingual Spanish, and nutrition service operations manager. Examinations that were conducted were for the following classifications: cafeteria lead worker 1, a written test and structured interview; head cook, we had a performance test and structured interview; director of transportation services, a training and experience evaluation; executive director of facilities, maintenance, operations, and constructions, we did a training and experience evaluation. Referral lists were issued for the following classifications: cafeteria lead worker 1, executive director of facilities, maintenance, operations, and construction; food service assistant 1, grounds maintenance worker, actually that was maintenance worker, sorry, I'll cross that out, it's maintenance worker; instructional assistant 2, instructional assistant 2 bilingual Spanish, instructional assistant 2 bilingual Mandarin, office assistant, personal care assistant, school office manager, senior account clerk substitute. New employees were processed into the following classifications: 1 community assistant, 2 health assistants, 1 secretary substitute, 1 secretary bilingual Spanish, 1 senior account clerk substitute, and 1 technology specialist 1 substitute. Updates and reminders: the Personnel Commission staff worked with the special ed department and the principals to coordinate group interviews for the classifications of instructional assistant 2 and personal care assistant in September. After the interview process, 14 applicants were selected for instructional assistant 2 vacancies, and 5 applicants were selected for the personal care assistant vacancies. Staff is working on gathering the reference check forms, offering jobs to these applicants, and completing the employee processing. This was a definite team effort. The annual report for the Personnel Commission was distributed throughout the district on Friday, September 30th. There are copies in the back of the room, and this report is also posted on our Personnel Commission website. Our district will participate in the Great Shakeout on Thursday, October 20th. It'll be at 10:20 a.m. Mount Sac Antonio College Career and Transfer Services will be hosting a career fair on Tuesday, October 25th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Staff from the Personnel Commission will be attending and will be passing out recruitment bulletins and information on how to fill out interest cards for future openings. So if the commissioners would like to join us, we will be at Mount Sac from 10 to 1. You don't have to stay the whole time. You can just come for a period of time. We are purposely opening up the instructional assistant 2 recruitment on October 21st and personal care assistant as well, so that we will have recruitment bulletins for the students, because they do make good student jobs because they're 3 hours a day and the students can work their schedules around that. The 2010 annual conference for the Personal Testing Council of Southern California will be held in Alhambra on Thursday, November 3rd. The theme is Building an Effective Workforce for the Future, and Ms. Landine and Ms. Silvermar will be attending the one-day conference. And last but not least, the 2017 statewide CSBCA annual conference is scheduled for January 26th to the 29th in Northern California. And hopefully they'll have registration information soon, because that date is coming quickly.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions, comments? Just quickly, the Mount Sac, the interest cards are for our district people, right?
No, for everybody. So anytime anybody's interested in a particular job that we don't have it open, we always say you can at least go to our website and click on putting in an interest card. And when we open the recruitment, they're automatically emailed the information that we open the recruitment.
Gotcha, thank you. Okay. Next item is number 5, hearings, none. Number 6, personnel pollution 6.1, approve the minutes of the regular meeting of September 6, 2016, reference 6.1. Can I have a motion, please?
Second.
Motion by Sharon, second by Judy. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carried. 6.2, approve the minutes of the special meeting of September 20, 2016. It's reference 6.2. Can I have a motion, please?
All motion. Second.
Motion by Sharon and second by Judy. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. 6.3, receive information regarding the expiration of term of office of Commissioner Sharon Fernandez and her interest in reappointment for a 3-year term. It's in reference 6.3. Questions or?
No questions.
Back in September, after talking with Ms. Fernandez and her interest in being appointed again, I sent an email to CSEA as well as copied Dr. Mitchell and the board president of the interest as stated in our commission rules. My understanding is I saw that the CSEA agenda for tomorrow does have Ms. Fernandez on it to be reappointed, but they have to vote on it.
All right. Good luck. Thank you. And then 7.1, advanced salary step placement. Number 8, consider approving the advanced salary step placement request from Scott Jensen, Director of Special Education, to employ applicant ID number 292-17332 in the class of Speech Language Pathology Assistant at Step B of range 24.5 on the classified salary schedule. Reference 7.1A. Can I have a motion, please?
All motion. Second.
Motion by Sharon, seconded by Judy. All in favor, comments, questions? None. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Number B, consider approving the advanced salary step placement request from Mitch Bruner, principal of Rowland High School, to employ applicant ID number 9699445 in the class of senior account clerk at Step E of range 20.5 on the classified salary schedule, reference 7.1B. Can I have a motion, please?
All motion.
Motion by Sharon, second by Judy. Any questions or comments? None. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Number C, consider approving the advanced salary step placement request from Mitch Bruner, principal of Rowland High School, to employ applicant ID number 18166883 in the class of office assistant at Step E of range 17 on the classified salary schedule, reference 7.1C. Can I have a motion, please?
All motion. Second.
Motion by Sharon, second by Judy. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
7.2, reallocation. Number A, consider approving the recommended reallocation request from Jennifer Kotke, Coordinator of Family Resource Center, of a vacant primary intervention assistant bilingual Spanish to primary intervention assistant. It's on item 7.2. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Sharon, second by Judy. Questions, comments?
I read a report that I think Jennifer said that currently they have 4 bilingual Spanish. That she believes that that's enough for the students that have currently. I was just curious, what's the ratio between the staff and the students we serve?
I wish Jennifer was here to answer that question as far as the staff and the students that they serve. But I do know there was a lot of questions a year ago in June when they laid off the primary intervention assistants. They were all non-bilingual, and they kept the 6 or 7 bilingual employees.
Yes.
And there was some concern, why did you keep all the bilingual when before we had a ratio of non-bilingual to bilingual? So in Jennifer's opinion, she's the one that runs the program. If she needed bilingual, I know she would have turned in a requisition to make this bilingual.
Do you think you will be able to find out?
The ratio?
Yeah, the ratio.
Of course.
Thank you.
Okay.
I know it's also good, maybe you can find out where this position is going, because I have to keep track of what school is going Spanish meeting, or which school is not anymore. You have to keep on moving, and sometimes I kind of wonder.
Excuse me, do you all have your mics on? Because it's hard to hear what you're saying. There you go.
Mine is on. Okay. All right. Any other questions or comments? We're gonna go for the vote. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Number B, consider approving the recommended reallocation request from Scott Jensen, Director of Special Education, of a vacant instructional assistant 2 bilingual Spanish position to instructional 2 bilingual bilateral Spanish. It's on reference 7.2B. Can I have a motion, please?
A motion?
I will second
Motion by Sharon and seconded by Judy. Any comments or questions?
I have a question here. I know that this basically the position is to assist the bilingual speech therapist to serve the student. And here that it's relocated from Spanish, bilingual Spanish to bilingual bilateral Spanish. Is there any, I just want to find out, the background why this bilateral is required at this point.
No, that's a good question to tell them. You might like that makes sense.
We do not have too many IHE bilingual biliterate aides in the district.
Yeah.
So when the one position became vacant and bilingual in this program, Mr. Jensen is looking at that position and wondering if it's a good idea to service the other kids in that school, in that classroom, to help do some interpretation. Maybe some of the teachers don't necessarily speak Spanish, and this aide can help send notices home.
But that's bilingual, I don't mean to interrupt,
Biliterate
that's
is-
bilingual. Biliterate is to read and write, so
Yeah.
what is it that they're writing?
Yeah,
what
they're writing,
reading?
why they
And
need
if
that,
it's something
that
that's to a
requirement.
parent, isn't that usually done by an office assistant?
Yeah.
Who can be bilingual,
You have to write in Spanish, we have a bilingual.
The translators here.
Department, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I think to
wondering.
support, when I have discussed this with a Scott, I don't think it was Scott before when I questioned that, about what they needed to write. They will help, for example, if they need to communicate with a parent, like sometimes if the kid is bad, I know because my sister works in that, she's works with the severely disabled students. Sometimes they have to call up to talk to the parents or write a note home about behaviors. Especially if after they try to leave messages or they can't communicate essentially over the phone with them, they'll write a note to the parent about maybe something that they've been seeing, or if they need a change of clothes because they had an accident or whatever it is. So usually the BBs help in the classroom to communicate with the parents. If it's something like an IEP, that's normally done through the translator because of the higher complexity of the language translation aspect. and they'll write, like, they'll help with notes or like a flyer that the teacher has, really minor things. But it's not fair to ask the bilingual, you know, to do it when they're not being compensated for it. So I guess Mr. Jensen maybe felt that it was necessary and they were asking, they felt the opportunity was there to have the person, to use them in this capacity to write. So I'm not sure if, since I didn't get to talk to him, if it's, they're gonna be doing multiple classrooms items.
Yeah, where,
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Because as far as I know that, if you know writing simple notes, I think bilingual, in Spanish bilingual should be enough. And biliterate, which means that you need to read and write, usually involves a lengthy report that you need the ability to communicate. So would you please find out, you know, the reason behind this, why he want to reallocate this to a different, I think to me it's like higher requirement, additional requirement and duties that involved, and I would like to, you know.
What I will do in the future when they request reallocations is get a lot more information from them so that you clearly understand why they need the bilingual or they don't need the bilingual competency. So in case they're not here to share that information, I will be able to provide it to you.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, you good. Great, thank you. All right, so we're gonna go for the vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.1, exam review and recruitment bulletins, reference 8.1. We received for information a summary of the following examinations and recruitment bulletins. A, health assistant. B, health assistant bilingual Spanish. C, instructional assistant 1. D, library assistant. E, library assistant bilingual Spanish. F, nutrition service operations manager. G, office assistant. H, office assistant bilingual Spanish. I, office assistant bilingual Spanish. Right. Any questions? Thank you for finding that. 8.2, employee selection results. We see the results of examinations held. It's a reference 8.2. Any questions or? All right, thank you. 8.3, ratification of eligibility lists. Ratify the following eligibility lists, reference 8.3. Number A, Executive Director of Facilities, Maintenance, Operations, and Construction. Number B, Instructional Assistant 2, Bilingual Mandarin. Number C, Instructional Assistant 2, Bilingual Bilateral Mandarin. Number D, Maintenance Worker. Number E, Senior Account Clerk. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion. I'll second it.
Motion by Sharon and second by Judy. Questions, comments on the list? None? Okay, let's go for the vote. All in favor, please say aye. Aye, motion carried. 8.4, removal of names from the eligibility list. Ratify the removal of names from the following eligibility lists, reference 8.4. Number A, Campus Aid, ID number 1091910, pursuant to PC Rule 6.1.10, 6.1.10.6. Number B, Food Service Assistant, ID number 6249428 and ID number 27133020, pursuant to PC Rule 6.1.10 and 6.1.10.6. Number C, Health Assistant, ID number 2764196, PC Rule 6.1.10 and 6.1.10.3. Number D, Office Assistant, ID number 881291, pursuant to PC Rule 6.1.10 and 6.1.10.4. Can I have a motion, please?
Second.
Motion by Sharon, second by Judy, and any questions, comments?
Well, it's just kind of funny, we see that 4 positions, and of those 4, 3 of them were refusing the offer of employment. It shows that we've gone through all the processes, all the screening, all the tests, all the evaluations, the time elements, and they say no. So it's just, it's just another thing that it's not necessarily the commission and the rules and all that that's holding back the employees. It's the employees that are finally designated or given the offer who refuse it, which brings to me to think that why are there
Information for us to, for the future.
Well, we email them, we call them, and we can't force them to call us back.
Is it legal that we say, we would appreciate if you provide, why the background information, that why you don't accept it? That's all. I mean, they can do, it's a voluntary basis.
Yeah, it
It's
is
not legal to ask that question?
I don't even think they would, if they didn't respond to a good thing like, hey, you want this job, I don't think they're gonna respond, hey, why didn't you ever call in about this
I
job?
don't think there's anything wrong with asking,
Okay.
because you're asking if the question
Yeah.
is legal.
Yeah.
John's just saying, I don't think that they would even respond to our question, because they don't even respond to coming in.
Yeah, I think probably it's, I would, I would think, just by asking, it wouldn't hurt. If we can get the information, at least we know the direction that, how we can, work with
Right.
it. Yeah,
Maybe we can
instead of
send
just say, oh, forget it.
An easy A, B, or C, I didn't
Yeah.
find another job, or it wasn't enough hours.
Yeah, you
or
said,
I
so,
couldn't
higher
afford
pay,
the.
better environment, whatever the reason we give there, at least we have a
Feedback.
direction, for the future.
Email works real good that way because they could just open up their email and
Yeah.
say A, B, or C, as
Yeah.
opposed to picking up the phone and giving us a call.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so I
Whatever
mean,
the-
that might be easier
yeah.
for them.
I think gather the information is very important for us,
what did we do wrong that
Right.
we don't want?
Yeah, yeah. We want.
Right, it would be nice to know if they got another
Yeah,
job or what
yeah,
happened,
yeah.
or the hours didn't work for them after.
Yeah,
Okay.
something like that.
Excuse me, did I hear you say that we could comment from out here as we go along? Is that what you said earlier in the
On
meeting?
an item?
You mean?
Yeah, on agenda items.
Right.
Can I do that now?
Which agenda item you want to comment?
The one you're talking about right
This
now,
one? Okay,
where people's
Go ahead.
refusing.
I guess, right? It's when it's the question.
You can probably come up here
It's
and.
on this.
About the
Whatever we can do.
At the time that it's on
The
the
removal, yeah, it's on.
It's only on the agenda.
Whatever.
Okay.
Well, I think you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now, I know there are lots of issues, but something that I found within the district, and not just this one, it's got to be run as a business, okay? You haven't got the time or the money, and this is 2016. There should be a regimen. Hey, if you don't want to respond, you have a protocol. Boom, you just do it and you move on. Now, it's always nice, I do a lot of stuff on Amazon, and all the guys want feedback on their process. Hey, what the person does or doesn't do it, you just gotta move on. And that's what it's all about. Move on to the next square. Get somebody in that position and dump on the people that don't respond. You haven't got that time to waste, as I understand through your facilities and your computer power. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you for the comments. So we're gonna go for the votes. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 9, we have removed that item. So number 10, the next regular Personnel Commission meeting is scheduled on November 1st, 2016, 4:30 p.m. over here. With that, we're adjourning the meeting. Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting, please?
Our second.
Motion by Sharon, second by Judy. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Can you turn off your little microphone? Mr. Humphreys, I agree with you about the Amazon thing. I have this one vendor I bought something from. It was an American flag, actually. And they have been saying, can you reply if you liked it, or if you didn't like it, or whatnot? And I'm like, it's been like 4 weeks, and it's like, no, because I've seen, if I Googled my name, I've seen my name linked with review. And it's like,
Change your username.
I know, but still, it's like, I don't want that out there. If I wanted to reply,
Well,
I
you
would.
could put in a hash, they don't publish your name per se, if you don't want that, you can put up a
Yeah,
John
but still,
Doe.
like you said, to take the time to do it. No,
Yeah.
I like my flag, thank you. It's
Yeah.
working just fine.
The whole, if you believe in yourself and you believe in your product, that you have a good product, there's gonna be winners and losers. There's gonna be, you can't please all the people all the time.
Right,
Who said
that's
that?
true.
I think I said
But
that.
I guess they want they know how great their product is. It's a Betsy
Yeah, you gotta
Ross
believe
flag.
in yourself.
It's a Betsy Ross
They
flag.
want that star.
That's right. They want
Okay.
4,500 people.
And that's how they get their reviews, they keep pestering
Well,
me.
you just like on Facebook, you say like,
Oh.
or when you say amen to, or they say, you know, that.
Don't do
you
that.
want.
Oh my
So
God.
you can't do that.
Oh, interesting, I didn't even know that.
And something, maybe next time I'll put it in a card or something there, that I was listening to y'all talk, that if, now this is pie in the sky, we all know, and you could put it in the computer as a scenario, if you had full employment, what would be the financial impact on the district? Do they have the means by which to deal with full employment and the other aspects of the district? There'd be those scenarios like that.
All right.
I think John said